Good morning. Happy Monday to everybody. Well, yesterday I did a 15-second YouTube short pertaining to Donald Trump being invited to speak at the Libertarian Party National Convention, which is going to be on the weekend of May 25th. That's the day when Donald Trump has been invited. I had a lot of comments just saying, that I didn't express an opinion. Well, I only had 15 seconds. I was just throwing it out there that I wasn't sure it was going to be good for Donald Trump or for the Libertarian Party. But hey, I'm only one guy. I don't know. Maybe there's something planned that they're going to come up with something or ask questions that will bring out something we don't know yet. But I can honestly say I was a member of the Libertarian Party from 1997 until 2022. I was a dues-paying member for 25 years, and I generally voted for a Libertarian candidate in every election except one that I can think of. That's just because they nominated somebody who really was not a Libertarian. I'm speaking of presidential elections. I've also voted for Libertarians in U.S. Congress races and in state House races and for U.S. Senate. And I think I voted for Libertarians for governors when the party has run somebody. But nevertheless, that's history. That doesn't matter. But according to Angela McArdle, she is I believe she's the media director or the director of the National Libertarian Party. I've never met the woman. I've just seen her name in different things. But they say that Donald Trump is going to appear and he's going to answer apparently the top 10 issues that are on the mind of libertarians that they might have with Donald Trump. And he did say something about that he believes that if he can get libertarians to support his Republican candidacy and vote for Republicans, that it will help advance the libertarian agenda. Well, there is some commonality between libertarians and Republicans, but not a whole lot. I don't have any issues with the libertarians wanting to be on the stage with Republicans and Democrats. I think that a libertarian candidate should be included in the debate. This is kind of a reverse tactic where the Libertarian Party has decided to have a major party candidate speak at their convention. I don't know that that's ever happened before. I've never heard of it. But I think maybe the Libertarian Party, if, Donald Trump is the kind of guy who soaks up all the oxygen in the room. That's what he's known for. That's his style. If he is appearing with libertarians, are there going to be people who are going to watch that on YouTube or watch it stream live who have never heard of the Libertarian Party or they don't know anything about them? And Trump will be there and they might think, hey, maybe I could vote for some of these libertarians. Or are there going to be people who lean libertarian, but they see Trump coming there and they're like, you know what? Maybe we can get behind this guy just once. Maybe, he's speaking some of our language. I know libertarians, for the most part, not all of them, but generally favor an open border. Well, Trump is not an open borders guy. Libertarians want lower taxes. Does Trump want to cut taxes? Yeah, in some respects he does, but he doesn't seem to ever want to cut spending. Libertarians want to cut taxes and spending. Libertarians want the federal government to work within its constitutional parameters. I don't think Donald Trump ever read the Constitution, and Joe Biden read it 50 years ago and decided he didn't like it because he's had 50 years of supporting unconstitutional and wasteful and redundant legislation, from his executive orders to trying to interfere with the economy and everything else. Biden is definitely not a libertarian. Now, Trump did do the I don't know what they call it, the Fair Chance Act or the First Start Act. It was something to do with helping to get nonviolent offenders released from prison, mainly for drug offenses. Get them released from prison early if they haven't done anything else. First Step Act, that was it, the First Step Act. He was responsible in that. And libertarians generally don't like war. And Donald Trump didn't really start any new wars when he was in office. He got, he got the several Arab and Muslim nations together with the Abraham Accords. They forged economic and diplomatic ties with Israel. He did move the capital from the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. I hear people try and say Donald Trump is anti-Semitic, but I don't think that's true at all. He's probably been the best friend to Israel. Now, a lot of libertarians don't really like Israel, but I don't think it's because of anti-Semitism. They just don't like the idea of our government throwing money everywhere around the world. And I myself, I don't like that either. We send billions of dollars to Israel, but we also send billions of dollars to our enemies. We end up funding both sides of conflicts, and libertarians generally are against that. I think that as far as tariffs are concerned, libertarians generally oppose tariffs. Trump seems to be hell-bent on putting tariffs on imported goods, which during a time of inflation and rising prices is not a very good idea. That's a tax on American citizens. And it doesn't really punish China or punish Mexico. It punishes our own consumers. It also, if it goes far enough, leads to a situation where our domestic industry doesn't have to work as hard to compete, and then they'll let quality slip a little bit. Those of us who are over 55 remember back in the 70s when, there weren't the imported vehicles had to be taxed at a higher level. And that led to the big three building some very crappy automobiles. The competition from the Japanese is one of the best things that ever happened to our auto industry. And now you have Nissan, Toyota, Honda, BMW, Mercedes, Kia, and Hyundai. And I think even Volkswagen now have plants inside the United States. So, you have foreign automakers building cars here, and you have Chevrolet, Ford, and Chrysler building stuff in Mexico and importing it here. So it's hard to define what an imported vehicle is. And it'll be interesting to hear Donald Trump, what his answers would be on tariffs. Do you tariff a Chevrolet built in Mexico, but you don't tariff a Toyota built in Indiana? I don't know. He's gonna have to be called on the carpet for that. But there are probably more than 10 issues that a libertarian could come up with about Trump. I don't know. I just don't see how this helps the Libertarian Party, and I don't see how it helps Trump. They could just make a fool out of the guy. I don't know. I couldn't get into this yesterday because I only had 15 seconds, but I was looking at some of the stuff on there, and Trump basically said that libertarians are independent-minded thinkers. He's got to know that, and I know I have friends who voted libertarian in the past, and they're going to vote for Trump this year. I still haven't made up my mind. I know there's no way in good conscience I could vote for Joe Biden, but that does not constitute an endorsement of Donald Trump. I don't yet know who the Libertarian nominee is. I know Chase Oliver seems to be doing very well, but I like a lot of what Lars Mapstedt says, and I like a lot of what Mike Termott says too. And there are a few others running as libertarians who each bring something to the table. I just think that until the libertarian candidate is included in the presidential debates, it's almost like pushing a boulder up a hill. Plus, the election is determined by the Electoral College. And I live in Germany right now, but I'm a legal resident of the Commonwealth of Virginia, which is a blue state. So, my vote, does it really matter? Maybe a little. I don't know. Virginia's not really a swing state anymore like it used to be. This is going to be a strange election. I still think that there's going to be some fireworks at the Democrat convention in Chicago. I believe it's in August, and there's going to be some backdoor or backroom deals made where they might try and push Joe Biden out to pasture and Kamala Harris. They could, if they did it to Bernie Sanders, they can do it to Joe Biden. Something about utilizing the superdelegates. They're going to have their hands full over there, and we'll just have to see how it shakes out. But I don't know. I was a Republican for many, many years, and I was a Libertarian for 25 years, mostly mostly by default rather than orthodoxy. But in the past couple years, the Libertarian Party has kind of gone out in the weeds a little bit. I still have a lot of libertarian tendencies, but I just have to identify myself as a libertarian-ish independent. I can't be down with any one party right now. The Democrat Party is, they've gone way off the rails. The Republican Party has become a caricature of itself, and the Libertarian Party is struggling right now. So, but the main purpose of this video is to talk about Trump appearing at the Libertarian Convention, because Trump is not really a libertarian. Yes, a Republican will have some overlap with libertarians, maybe on Second Amendment rights and, economic growth, fiscal responsibility, although a lot of Republicans have fallen short in that area lately. And Democrats might have some overlap with libertarians on being opposed to the death penalty, open borders, and some of the maybe the LGBT stuff. Libertarians tend to be pro-LGBT, and most Democrats do too. But there's still disagreements too. Libertarians really disagree with the Democrats on reckless spending, and they disagree with the Republicans, well, some of the Republicans, on having stricter border enforcement. So, I don't know. This is going to be a really strange election season, but I think that the Libertarian Party is not, somehow it doesn't jibe right with inviting Trump to speak there. But maybe there's some kind of hidden plan that is going to help them. I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. And I can't really see how it helps the Trump campaign much by going and speaking to libertarians. But then again, he might do a really bang up job, and a lot of people who are inclined to vote libertarian might end up supporting Donald Trump. So anything's possible. But yeah, when I threw out the short, I was just making a simple statement. I wasn't trying to get into anything deep, because I only had 15 seconds. So this time maybe I went a little too deep. I don't know. Let me know what you think. It's just weird. This whole, everything is like upside down. You have Joe Biden is trying to appeal to the pro-Israel people because he needs quote unquote Jewish money for his campaign, rich Jewish donors. But he also is trying to appeal to the Islamists and the people who hate Israel. He's trying to appeal to them and say, well, no, I need the Arab vote. I need the Muslim vote. The people in Michigan, Dearbornistan, as they call it. He wants the support of those people. And those people can't stand Donald Trump. They're probably not going to vote for him. So, he's got that going on. And then Trump's got his legal issues, and, he can't keep from sticking his foot in his mouth. He comes out and he'll say, oh yeah, I want to fight inflation, but I want to put tariffs on things. It's like, what? And everything is always, it's going to be the best. It's going to be really, really good. People get tired of hearing that. So I don't know, but my view from people I see on social media and people I talk to, it seems like almost everybody voting for Joe Biden, they don't really like Joe Biden. They just hate Donald Trump. And many of the people who are voting for Trump, they just want to get Biden out of there. And I guess the motivation to vote against somebody being stronger than the motivation to vote for somebody is not a good thing for the psyche of the entire nation. But we've made it through some bad times before. We'll make it through this. But anyway, that's enough for today. I just wanted to throw that out there. Everybody have a nice, wonderful Monday.